my name is Norman Meyer, and welcome to Personal Goal Setting and Life Planner. If you're bored with life and you don't get up every morning with a burning desire to do things, you don't have enough exciting goals. This goal setting program is supposed to be a fun experience. I'd like you to dream as if you were a young boy or a young girl again, who is full of life and excitement. And this program is created in such a way that it's easy to fill out and to simply by checking the boxes or write down simple answers. So if you have it in front of you, please open it up, take a pen, and enjoy the ride. Each one of us has goals in life, but sometimes we tend to forget to clearly write them down and to hang them in a place where we can see them every day. And I would like to encourage you to set goals and to get excited about your life again. If you have a burning desire to achieve something, you will feel happier and you have a more fulfilled life. The problem is that most people don't know what they want in life. And that is the reason why they seem bored or they don't get ahead. And most of us, they say, oh, I want more money. But, just if you don't decide what it is exactly, you will never have it. Nothing is possible if you don't have absolute clarity. So this goal-setting brochure and life planner should help you to set goals and to define them more clearly. So let's get started. Let's get started with the type of goals. So basically there's several categories and I put together 12 different categories. So number one, we have personal goals, we have business and career goals, financial goals, thing goals, fitness and health goals, spiritual goals, relationship goals, family goals, educational goals, self-development goals, social goals, and pleasure/crazy fun goals. And then when you look at the time frames, because that's important, we have short-term goals, which are, let's say, 1 month to 12 months. Typically, I would say 12 months. Then we have midterm goals, 2 to 3 years, long-term goals, 5 to 10 years, and then there's also lifetime goals, which are, longer. And basically, when you look at the brochure, the goal is to check off the things that you want and to really fill out, what the things are and how much they cost and to be as precise and specific as possible. So what I want to do here before we get started, I want to talk a little bit of how you should define your goals. And we have a rule, it's called the SMART rule, and it's called specific for S, like measurable, attainable, reward, and time-bound. So that's SMART. So people with clear written goals accomplish far more in a shorter period of time than people could ever imagine. So let's give you an example. If you say, I want a new car, that's great, that's awesome, but that's not a goal. So better would be, I want a BMW 550i. The price is $95,000, fully loaded package, and I want it by January 1st, 2016 as a reward for my promotion to team leader. So you see, it's specific, it's measurable, it has a time, it's time bound, it has a reward and a reason why, okay? So it gives you a precise definition of that. Another, let's say, not so ideal goal could be, I just want to lose some weight. Well, that's great. You lose a pound, but that's not really what it is. So better would be lose 20 pounds of fat and gain 10 pounds of lean muscle mass and have a body fat percentage of 15% by May 31st of this year. I want to be ready for beach season to show off my hot new body, for example. So that would be a better definition or, definition of your goal. Or a third one, a typical one. I just want to be rich. Well, that's great. Here's $1. Now you're richer. But that's not what you want, I suppose. Better would be $1 million in cash in my account by December 31st, 2020 to retire early and to make my mother proud. Just as an example. So the common mistakes when people set goals are they set fuzzy goals, they set unrealistic goals. There is actually no unrealistic goals. There's only unrealistic timelines, okay? So that's what I mean by unrealistic goals. And then the third, obviously, then is the timeline is usually not realistic. So often people underestimate what they can do in the long run, but they overestimate they get excited and they think they can do something in a short period of time. I'll be a millionaire in 6 months. And typically that's not going to happen, So just, be realistic somewhat in your planning. And I don't want to, obviously slow anybody down, but at the same time, 5 years, 10 years is a very good time frame, and it's totally okay, and it should keep you motivated. And if you're quicker, that's great. Another common mistake that people make is they set other people's goals and not your own goals. So somebody expects something of you, maybe your manager or your wife or whoever, and because you want to make them happy or because you think that's what they want to hear, you set a goal that's actually theirs and not yours, but you don't really internalize it. It's not really your goal. And that's why you're never going to get there. And then there's people, they set negative goals, and that's really bad. Obviously, they have a negative goal, and because of that, obviously it's not going to happen. I don't ever want to be fat again, for example, or something like that. That's usually not a good goal. Okay, then there's things that you need to consider, and let's start. There's 3 questions. So if nothing changed in your life over the next 5 years, would that be okay? Think about that. Is that okay? Indecision is the greatest thief of opportunity, so don't let that happen. So if you don't make a choice right now, if your life is exactly the same 5 years from now, is that really cool? Or just because you haven't made any decisions in regards to your goals, that's really the only difference, then you're not going to get anywhere. So make that decision. Are you willing to change things in your life today to achieve your goals? Okay. That's typical too, because you need to make some changes. You need to be more self-disciplined. You need to be consistent with your activities. Maybe you need to give up certain activities like watching TV or spending time with some friends that are, useless anyway. So you need to just think about your life and your goals and see how you can make them happen. Then another thing is backward goal setting. Okay, for example, so you can start by planning with your end goal in mind first and then work your way backwards. Let me give you an example. So let's say you want to make $1 million in 5 years and you want to save that money from some sort of business that you've created. Okay. So you could say, well, in the 5th year, you need to save $350,000. In the 4th year, $250,000. In the 3rd year, $150,000. In the 2nd year, $150,000. And in the 1st year, $100,000. So which means if you have to save $100,000 in the 1st year, you need to save $50,000 in 6 months and $25,000 in 3 months. Which means per month, you need to be able to save $8,333, okay? So when you look at that number, you say, oh, wow, $8,300. Maybe that's a little bit on the higher end, or maybe you need to adjust it, or that really gives you the clarity and focus you need to make that happen, okay? So sometimes backward goal setting is a great tool because it helps you to realistically look at the numbers and then see, can I really make this happen? Can I really pull this off? And get to my goal of $1 million, okay? So maybe you need to increase the timeline. Maybe you need to, whatever it is, okay? Then also, when you make a plan of actions, you have to set mini goals or milestones or steps towards your final goal. No one lives long enough to learn everything they need to learn starting from scratch. To be successful, we absolutely positively have to find people who have already paid the price to learn the things that we need to learn to achieve our goals. This is a statement from Brian Tracy, by the way. So which means, obviously, you don't have to do everything by yourself. You just have to maybe find someone who did what you want to do and you copy their actions and maybe you find out what their timeline was, how they did it, and so forth. And then you can achieve the same goal. Once you have set your goals, you need to make a plan. And ideally, you want to break down your big goal into smaller mini goals. Ideally, you want to be able to have them in a shorter period of time, like a week or a month. And this will make it easier for you to do the tasks at hand and to make sure that you're on track. Setting milestones is also important because that gives you motivation and gives you momentum. Then when it comes to dreaming and dwelling, okay, that's very, very important. What I would recommend is like a photo album or a book where you put pictures in it, or you have a collage, like you put things on the wall where you see them every day, and you can really visualize. Okay, so what I would do is use 5 minutes every day to dream about your goals, rewrite your goals every day on a pad of paper, dwell on your goals, get emotional about them, and do things like signs to the universe that show you, that shows the attention that you have to achieve your goal. Let's say you want a new house. Well, then go look at houses. You want to get a new car, then go test drive some cars. Okay, so do something that shows the intention of actually, wanting to fulfill your dream. And as I said, create a collage with pictures from magazines and put them in a journal and hang them on your wall. Visualize and emotionalize your goals when you're in the morning, when you have 5 minutes to yourself. Okay. And if you're still not excited enough, then just, people in general, they're not lazy. There's actually a statement. It's called, there are no lazy people. They simply have impotent goals, which means they have goals that don't inspire them. So if you look at your list and you say, it's okay, but really, I don't know, whatever, then that's not a cool goal to have. Those are shitty goals. You should have goals that inspire you, that drive you, that motivate you. So if you don't have goals that excite you, you must go back and redefine them. In that case, your goals don't inspire you enough to take action. And you must actually find out why you want a specific goal. What would mean that for you, and what would change in your life, and why would it be so good for you? So the reasons, the whys for reaching a goal are often much more important than the goal itself. And finally, you should have some, you have some nice to have goals, like a list that, it would be nice, but if I don't get the car, then, it's not the end of the world. But you must turn them into absolute musts. So your nice to have goals should be turned into musts. Why you must absolutely achieve your goals. And so try to get the reasons behind it. Decide that you will not rest until you've achieved them. Okay, great. So if you have the brochure in front of you, that's great, because then now you can start writing down what your goals are. But if you don't have that, that's okay. I will read them to you. Take an empty pad and a pen and start writing it down. Okay, we're going to start with personal goals. Okay, so what are some personal goals that you would like to achieve? At this point, it's important just to write down whatever comes to your mind. Don't worry too much about details or clarity or definition or timelines. Just write down what it is that you want, and then later on, in the end, you can go back, correct them, make them clearer, define them, timeline them, everything. Okay, so at this point, we're just going to go and look at the goals. All right, so let's get started. So personal goals. All right. Do you want to learn a language? Do you want to get into shape? Do you want to travel to a certain destination? Is there a certain skill that you would like to learn? Do you want to move to a different city? Or is there a special person you want to meet, like a famous actor? Do you want to become famous for something? Do you want to make, create, or invent something? Or is there a place you want to visit? So what are some of your personal goals? Try to write them down. The next step are business and career goals and financial goals. All right, so do you want to get promoted? When do you want to get promoted by? Or do you want to start your own business? What kind of business and how? Or do you want to work for a specific company? Do you want to learn a certain skill or something that helps you with your career or business? And what is your end goal really in business? Okay, try to write that down. What kind of work would you most likely want to do? Now, when it comes to financial goals, let's write down some income goals first. So what kind of income would you like to have in the next 12 months? What kind of income would you like to have in the next 3 years? And what is your ideal income in 10 years? All right, let's go to net worth. What is your net worth going to be in 12 months? What is your net worth going to be in 3 years? And finally, what is your net worth going to be in 5 years? The following are thing goals. So let's start with the cars. What kind of cars or what kind of car would you like to drive? The type, the price, and when would you like to get it? Do you want a motorcycle? Same thing. Type, price, and when. Do you want a house? Do you already have a house? Maybe you want a second or a third house? Or how many houses do you want? So what kind of house? Where's the location? What's the price of your house? When, can you achieve that? And is there a special feature to the house that, maybe a special pool at the beach, in the mountains, with a lot of land? What is it that you want? Is it one house, two houses, or three houses? Do you want to have an airplane or a helicopter? Same thing. How much does that cost? How can you get it? Do you want a boat or a yacht? What are other thing goals that you'd like to have, that you'd like to own? Do you want a Rolex or do you want special things? And write down also the reasons why you want them. Why are you motivated to have that? The next one are fitness and health goals. So what's your ideal weight? How much do you want to weigh? And what is your body fat percentage that you want to have? So typically if you say, I want to lose 20 pounds, that's great. But 20 pounds of muscle, 20 pounds of fat, so be really clear about it. Sometimes you can keep the exact weight, but let's say you lose 20 pounds of fat, but you gain 10 pounds of muscle. So in effect, you only lose 10 pounds, but the way you look or the percentage of fat, versus muscle mass, it's so much better and you look so much better. So define how much fat you want to lose and how much muscle you want to gain. And usually like a fat, scale will help you with that. What kind of activities do you want to take up? Do you want to play tennis or go to the gym every day or running, or what is it that you're going to do? And how is your nutrition is it going to be? Are you going to have a special diet plan, or how are you going to get to your fitness and health goals? Is there an event that you want to plan for? Like, is there like a marathon or a tournament or something that you're preparing for? So write those things down. And when it comes to spiritual goals are, very personal, but what is it that you would like to achieve spiritually and why? Write that down. The next set of goals are a set of 5 different categories. So we're going to start with the relationship goals. So do you want to find the man or woman of your dreams? Do you want to get married? Or do you want to improve your existing relationships? Or do you just want to plan some more date nights and trips and vacations with your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it's going to be? Or what are other things that you can do as a relationship goal that can improve your relationship? And I'm talking actually intimate relationship here, okay? And try to write down the reasons why. So the next category is family goals. So do you have any children? Do you want to have children? How many do you want to have? Do you have daily rituals you want to do that are going to help with your family goals? Do you want to go on holidays? Do you want to have a better relationship with your mother, your father, your grandparents, your sister, brother, or whatever it's going to be, your uncle or aunt? So what are some of your family goals? And also write down why you want those goals achieved. Then the next category are educational goals. Let's say you want to get a degree in something. What kind of degree do you want to, get? Do you want to learn a new language? Do you want to do a course, a seminar? Do you want to get a diploma in something or other things? Do you want to read a book a week? So you have 50 books a year. What is it that you want to do? Then the next one are self-development goals. Again, it's about learning or reading or studying. Is there a seminar that you want to do? You want to come to my seminar? Or you want to go to, Anthony Robbins or Brian Tracy or someone? Do you want to read or listen to tapes every day on your way to work? What are some of the things that you can do to improve your self-development goals? And the last one here are social goals. So what are some of the social goals that you would like to do? Do you want to give to your charity? Do you want to spend some time at the shelter, at the animal shelter? What kind of activities can you do, and why do you want to do them? Write it down. And the next category is really cool. The next category is called pleasure goals or crazy funny goals, okay? So I'm going to read you like a list of a lot of goals, and I'm just gonna read the whole list, and you're gonna write down whatever you like. Maybe you have other ideas, but I'm just gonna give you my list, and maybe you get inspired to do a couple of those crazy funny things. Okay, let's start. Swim with sharks, climb Mount Everest, live in a foreign country, party for a week in Ibiza, Spain, learn sword fighting, go to Las Vegas, make your own movie, get arrested for one night, take dance classes, go skydiving, join the circus, rent a yacht, surf in Hawaii, walk with lions in Africa, take up an acting class, attend the Oscars, learn sign language, go to a monastery, produce your own song, write a book, drive a race car, travel the world for 1 year, take flying lessons, become a yoga instructor, learn Japanese sword fighting, swim with dolphins, run a marathon, first class flight to Europe, run with the bulls in Spain, kiss someone on top of the Eiffel Tower, get a tattoo, go bungee jumping, learn to snowboard, enter a professional ping pong tournament, go to a talk show as a guest, adopt a child, tour the White House, dance with an African tribe, create a new board game, hire a private jet, read 52 books in 1 year, take a road trip through America, tour the Great Pyramids, ride an elephant, hold a tarantula in your hand, see the northern lights, shave a lamb or sheep, go skinny dipping in a frozen lake, milk a cow, shave your head completely, get a colorful new hairstyle, ride with a horse through Texas, spend the night at the Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai, get a black belt in martial arts, do a base jump, walk around blind for a day, visit Chernobyl, ride in the desert on a camel, see a heavyweight boxing fight live, design your own house, complete Route 66 on a motorcycle, walk near a live volcano, go on safari to see the Great Migration, eat a hot dog in New York City, go to the Oktoberfest in Munich, smoke a joint in Amsterdam, eat grasshoppers in Thailand, join a chess club, get engaged, attend a gay wedding, drive a Ferrari for a weekend, appear on television, build a treehouse. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of funny, crazy goals here, and maybe you have some of your own. So write those down, and I hope I got you inspired on these.